Alright, in this video we're going to be changing the front brake pads and rotors on a Jeep Compass. Take out the two bolts holding on the brake caliper. They also double as a slide pin, so make sure we give them a clean up later and re-grease them before we reinstall them. When you're done that, take the brake caliper off, hang it up so it's not hanging by the brake line and you don't damage anything, and you just keep it out of the way in general. Then just remove the brake pads. Once you remove the brake pads, check for uneven wear and make sure they're the same as the new ones you're going to be putting in by comparing them. These old brake pads seem to be pretty low quality as they've worn out quite prematurely. They've also left a lot of brake dust just everywhere, so we'll give everything a good clean. Spray the hub with some penetrating fluid and then just hit the rotor around the edges until you've loosened it off. Remove the brake rotor and inspect. As you can see, this brake rotor has a fair few gouges through it and quite a big lip on the end of it, so we'll be replacing that with a brand new rotor. Give everything a good clean, especially the face of the hub where the rotor mounts to. This will also help the wheel mount correctly. Once you've done that, give it a little bit of anti-seize on the hub. This will also in future prevent the rotor from sticking and having trouble taking your wheels off. Spray the rotor down with some brake clean and wipe it off. This just gets any excess oils that are left on it in the manufacturing line. Mount the rotor and use a wheel nut just to hold it on. This makes securing all of the brake components much easier later on. Clean everything as you go just to keep everything neat and tidy as you progress through the job. Give the brake caliper mounting bracket a good clean. This gives the brake dust somewhere to go in the future. Don't forget to scrape and wipe down all of the brake pad slides, as it will prevent sticking and friction and uneven wear in the future. Put a small amount of thread lock on the brake caliper mounting bolts. Do them up by hand a few turns before putting the electric ratchet to it. This just avoids any cross threading and drama in the future. It's always good where you can to go over it with the hand ratchet just to make sure everything feels correct and tight. Clean the brake caliper guide pins, get all the old grease off and clean them, then reapply some new grease or anti-seize. When putting them into the hub, make sure they move freely, as you don't want any sticking or interference, as this will lead to uneven brake pad wear and potential rotor damage. Apply the smallest amount of anti-seize or grease to the end of the brake pads. This just ensures that the brake pads won't seize up in the future due to corrosion and cause uneven brake pad wear. You're going to want to compress the brake caliper piston back into the brake caliper so it fits over the new brake pads. Make sure to open up the brake reservoir and keep an eye on the brake fluid, as if it overflows and the brake fluid lands onto your paint, it's extremely corrosive. Give everything a really good clean as we've been going along. Make sure to inspect the seals on the piston on the brake caliper, as if they're leaking, you're going to have a lot of issues in the future with air getting in the lines and prematurely wearing everything out. Install the guide pin bolts, make sure they move freely and do them up a few turns by hand before taking any power tools to them. This just ensures that you don't cross thread anything and have any issues down the track. Go over the bolts with a hand ratchet just to make sure everything's tightened up. If you like this video, please give me a follow, share and a like. Thank you.